Hello and welcome to Sit Down or Still Your Club and another edition of Alby on the Road. We're off to Plymouth Argyle for the final game of the league season, and of course I don't need to tell you what's going on. By the time you're hearing this, you guys know what's happened, but as of right now, I'm none the wiser. I haven't got a clue. I must say I'm incredibly nervous, but at the same time I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do down there. Of course, after an emotional start to the season in losing our manager, after a season of watching on iFollow, we found ourselves in a situation where, had you told me at the start of the season we'd be here, I probably would have laughed at you. During pre-season, it seemed like a bit of a possibility that we could push for promotion, be it playoffs or automatics. But as soon as Russell Martin fucked off to Wales, we were perhaps expecting another rebuild from top to bottom, and it might have taken a little bit longer. A credit to Liam Sweeten in bringing in another Liam Manning, a man who didn't take long at all to become loved by the fans. You know, he's been cool, calm and collected all season. And I think his mentality has rubbed off evidently onto the players and put us into a situation where we really are in with a chance of automatic promotion. He's lived by not getting too down when you lose and not getting too up when you win. And I think that has been a great mindset to have all season. As I said, I think his mentality is rubbed onto the players, and given the fact that we're in with an automatic promotion chance, it's the stuff of dreams, really. It's what you really want to see from your football team, and we've enjoyed every minute of this season watching some of the players and some of the goals that we've seen, and the fans have really bought into everything. We've taken some healthy away crowds this season. We've seen some memorable wins, and whatever happens for the rest of the season, if we go up by the playoffs, if we go up automatically, if we don't go up at all, we have some amazing memories coming out of this season. And it's nice to finally have a team again that we can get behind and love going to see. It's the night before. I'm driving down with my old man to hopefully see us get promoted. I've got a few pre-match thoughts from Connor and Dippy coming up. Hopefully I'll get some more later in and around the ground. This isn't failure if we don't manage to go up today. Playoffs were a dream. Automatics are beyond that. Let's just get behind the boys and go for one last push. Come on, you dons. Right, so despite the fact that we travel down to Plymouth tomorrow, I wanted to make sure that I got a long chat with our Dippy Dan. We might all be excited tomorrow, and I might not get 5 minutes free with him. So I've decided to call on him now. Dan, say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Alby.
Dippy, we are going down to Plymouth tomorrow. I've done a bit of an introduction to this already, but just for the sake of the listener and for the sake of the podcast, tell me what the fuck we're in for tomorrow down at Plymouth. Give me all the palpitations or fucking heart or whatever the flipping hell's going on. I don't even know how to speak. I am so nervous. Can you please tell the listeners what's going on?
So basically what's going to happen is we're going to draw 0-0 and Rotherham are going to lose to Gillingham 6-0, which means that we're going to get promoted anyway. That's what's going to happen.
We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose 3-1 and they're going to lose, are we?
Because I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who, but I was talking to somebody the other day and I was just saying the worst thing that could happen is similar to when we were playing Oxford, when literally everybody loses. Because I don't mind if we miss out if we've won, because that means then we've pushed Rotherham right to the limit. They've just been that tiny bit better than us. But if we miss out because we've messed up, that's going to be the killer. I think that's going to be the thing that, I don't know, I don't want that to happen.
I said earlier on that there could be a possibility that the fact that we're playing Plymouth might work into our favour and not a Gillingham, for example, because despite the fact that they're fighting for a playoff place, I think the game might be a bit more open because they're a better team than, say, a Gillingham are, who will be defending, playing against it. Do you get where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
I think the game could be open, and as I say,
it could be much more open, which I think would suit us to the ground. Really, if you take out the jeopardy of the promotion, I think as a game, as a 90 minutes, it might work in our favour.
They're coming into it as well really confident, because you got to think, despite their form being a little bit patchy, they've not conceded a home goal, let alone lost. They've not conceded a home goal since February, like mid-February sometime. So they're going to come into it feeling confident, because they need a result as well. So like as much as we're all thinking about ourselves, like we need a win, like blah 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 blah, they've arguably got the toughest game out of the four that are still fighting to get a playoff place. I think Sheffield Wednesday, they're playing Portsmouth, who are mid-table or something like that. Sunderland have got Morecambe, which on paper you'd think they should win, despite Morecambe still maybe needing a result, depending on other figures. And then Wickham have got Burton, who, like, while they're no slouches, we've seen them beat Wigan and Rotherham recently, you'd expect Burton being like mid-table again. They've got nothing whatsoever to play for. So Plymouth arguably know they've got the toughest task, and they'll need something. So I don't know whether they're going to come at us. I don't know whether they're going to just try and sort of shut up shop and sort of like try and catch us on the counter or something. I don't. It's one of those games where literally anything could happen.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be exactly the same as a game as it would be if we were playing in February. I think both managers and both sets of players are well drilled in enough to their style, and I think we're quite similar in the sense of how we go about things. In like Liam's been quite consistent all season in saying that we're not going to be too downbeat when we lose or too upbeat when we win and things like that. I don't think that will go out. That will change on our side, and I don't think it will change for Plymouth either, to be brutally honest. I think if you start doing the whole let's go 100 miles an hour from kickoff sort of thing, you can end up trying to do too much, and it can actually work in the opposite sense. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. And I think the edge is going to come from the stands, really. They've had their stadium sold out for about a week and a half. They're well up for it. Their fans on their forum are clambering for tickets wherever they can get them. And for us, it's a case of, again, like we'll still have one eye on Rotherham, as much as some people will be like, oh, we can only focus on us. In the stands, so long as there's decent signal or they've got the game on in the bar, we will be sort of having one eye on our game, one eye on Rotherham. A little bit like the Oval one when we knew that we'd done our job. I think, like, despite the fact that I know like we're going to have to do ours, but we're going to be, I don't know, praying for Ben Reeves, praying for Stuart O'Keefe, just praying Gillingham do something, just because that's the nature of it, isn't it? We're going there sort of for a party. Which I had a look earlier. We're taking 6 times the number already as we're speaking that we took the last time to Plymouth.
We were talking off air. We'll get back to attendances in a second. We were talking off air about how you're not very nervous. I must say I'm absolutely shitting myself. How do you reckon that the players will cope with that? Do you reckon they'll be nervous? Do you reckon that there'll be too much attention on the other game? Or do you think Liam will stick to his guns of what he's done pretty much all season and just do your job, and whatever happens, happens?
I think it will be pretty similar to pretty much every away game we've gone to when we've faced sort of the top 8, the top 9 since the turn of the year, really. I think we'll be going sort of expecting the first 15 minutes. If we can keep calm and we can sort of see what they're about, then we can go into it like from there, sort of working our way through them and trying to attack the problems or that sort of thing. The thing with, like, say, the Sheffield Wednesday game, we did pretty much the same thing at the home game, but they scored quite early on, didn't they? And that's what we've got to avoid if we possibly can. So I think that's when it will start getting nervy, because as I said, their fans are going to be up for it. They need a result to confirm themselves in the playoffs. So if we can sort of keep their fans quiet for the first 15, 20 minutes, grow into the game from there, then like you were just saying, I'm not overly nervous. I'm not, because I know that we've still got a chance even if we don't go up tomorrow. That's my main thing. I'm going to enjoy it rather than, I don't know, shit myself if we don't do anything.
You mentioned attendance. I think that this is the fourth game in succession where we've taken at least over 1,000. I think many times in the past, just taking 1,000 was enough to get excited about. A lot of the people who have been going all season, and a lot of people who will be going, especially to this game, are the sort of people who have got really, really behind what the players have done this season. And if you go up, maybe the attendances continue to improve because people have just really gotten bored of it and it's something to get behind. However, we've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter over the past couple of days of Plymouth Argyle fans saying that for a game that's just around the corner, not selling our away allocation is pretty poor. What do you have to say about that?
That was such an incredible tweet, the one you're sort of referencing there, because it's like I was saying to somebody as well. It's like for them, every game that they've got in this league, their closest game is Portsmouth, which is still like 170 odd miles. This is our second furthest away game. So I think Sunderland, if you compare it, and this is how far away it is, Sunderland is only 3 miles further away than Plymouth is, like from the stadium.
Christ.
So for us to honestly, I know it's the last game of the season. I know we could potentially get promoted. For us to take over 800 fans, I'm quite impressed with, and that just goes to show how much work's gone in behind the scenes from Don's action, from the DSA, how much people are actually enjoying going away as well. So I think I'm trying to think of a season that I've liked better than this, and I don't even think I enjoyed the 14-15 season going away as much as I have done this season.
Yeah, I think the Don's Action boys have a lot to be credited for in terms of small things like the chants. I think people are excited about the fact that we've got a variation of different chants, even that sort of thing, not the same old recycled stuff. I think the feeling of knowing that there's there's bigger, younger crowds going, and it's easier to make friends because I think people get on better nowadays. It's all a load of things, and going into a final game where, yeah, look, there's a lot going on it, and we should be taking a big crowd anyway, but let's not beat around the bush. We haven't taken good crowds for a long period of time, so I think it's worth mentioning and being quite impressed with, because by our standards, it is pretty decent to take, especially that far away.
Just quickly jumping on that. When was the last time that we took over about 800 fans to a game that was more than about 2.5 hours away?
Oof. It's a great question. I couldn't tell you.
And again, like when did we take? I know our allocation is only 1,600 or whatever, but when was the last time we took 2,000 fans to any game other than QPR? I'm not sure we have. So for us to get it, but it's like 4 hours away, isn't it, Plymouth?
Yeah. For
us to take over 1,000 when they're not running any coaches because they can't get any more drivers, and that's been the case for almost a week or so, I think. They've not been able to put another coach on. So people will be turned off by that. The trains this weekend are an absolute nightmare. Just getting down to London, I think, might even be impossible just because of the work. So for us to still be taking, 1,200, 1,400, however many do turn up tomorrow, it's a credit to each and every one of the fans that are there.
The good thing is as well, just to end on the attendance figure, I think that everybody who's there is somebody who wants to be there, because again, it doesn't matter whether it's a big fixture and it's a promotion fixture or not. I know of Don supporters who are ardent Don supporters who aren't travelling because of the cost and the length of time and things like that. So I think everybody who is there isn't just a day tripper, which could have, which has happened before at games like QPR, and there are other examples. Everybody who wants to be there is paying hard-earned and a lot of money to go down to watch their team, and you know that everybody who's there is the right kind of people. Just before we finish, I want to ask you to sum Liam Manning and the season up in as brief a way as possible, because we've done a lot of talking about it throughout the season on the pod and things like that, but as it's the last game of the season, how do you think the season's gone, and has it matched your expectations?
I think it's been incredible. I think from where we were sort of sat at, what was it called, the Bell Inn at Bournemouth, knowing, we didn't know at the time, but sort of Russell Martin was just on his way out. He was taking the entire coaching staff. We had no idea what we were going to be in store for. Basically, just that week after. So for us to go from that point, like from that perspective, to have one coach, to now be in with a chance on the final day of the season of automatic promotion, it's nothing short of incredible. Liam Manning's just come in. He's adapted just enough, but not too much, to just make it as seamless a transition as it possibly could have been. Like, we've had a couple of stumbles here and there, like, don't get me wrong, but you're going to get that over the course of a 46-game season. But yeah, I think just for us to, we've lost one away game since November. We've lost 2 games since the middle of January. It's incredible. I never thought when the news broke that Russell Martin had been spotted in Swansea, I was sort of expecting, you know what, mid-table, maybe a little bit of a push sort of towards February, March time for the playoffs, but we'd probably drop off again. To go from there to where we are now, it's amazing. And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we still go into the playoffs with relatively good form, and that's all you need. So there's still a chance. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, we'll all be there at Wembley, cheering us on, enjoying the fact that we're there. And yeah, it's just been very enjoyable, considering sort of like a few years ago it was the worst time to be a Dons fan. To go from that to this quite quickly, I'd say, as well. Like, and then you've gone through COVID and all that, this, that, and the other. It's just a really, really good time to follow us, I think.
Yeah, we don't want to be hearing anything if we don't manage it tomorrow. We don't want to be hearing anything about how we've bottled it or anything like that. That's not the sort of mentality that we want as a fan base going into a playoff campaign. We don't want that sort of atmosphere around the club, because I think that considering where we started, I think we've done tremendously well to even be in this situation, right?
You've got to look at some of the teams that we're loads of points above as well. Charlton. I was reading before. Like, I completely forgot Charlton at one point, sort of in the last 20 years, were fighting for Champions League places. And now they're 12th in League One. Ipswich Town. I backed them to win the league this year because of the players that they bought, like the money that they'd spent. They're 11th. They're 13 points out of it as it stands. Bolton. Very big club for probably our generation, especially because we've known them in Europe and they've done that. They're nowhere near. Like Portsmouth, we're above Sunderland, we're above Sheffield Wednesday. Like Plymouth, they might not be the biggest club, but they travel well. They've got a really, really loyal and sort of quite a good fan base. They were top of the league. November, December time?
Yeah, they were.
We're above them. It's just, yeah, we've just got to appreciate, I think, how well we've done this season. If it doesn't happen on Saturday, dust ourselves off, we go again. Like, this is the team that, if anyone's going to go up through the playoffs, I think this team, out of all of the ones that we've had over the last few years, this team have got the mental capability, I think, to do it.
Right, so similarly to us, when we played Plymouth at the earlier stage of the season, I think that very day Ryan Lowe had left them and they were feeling in pretty much in exactly the same way as we were down in Bournemouth about their man, and they don't like Ryan Lowe anymore, but they've got behind their new manager, Stephen Schumacher. They've done incredibly well. It's going to be a tough game, and Dan, I'm going to push you for a score prediction, and while you're there, you might as well tell me what on earth is going to happen for the game and what it's going to do for our season.
What did I go for? I think I went for a 2-1 on the forum and I said Louis to score the first goal.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Permutation. So basically, if we win and Rotherham don't, we're up.
Yeah, it's exactly. Is it not exactly the same situation as when we played Yeovil? Just we've got an away game and not a home game.
It literally is, yeah, because they're going to a relegation threatened team as well, aren't they? So yeah, there's no way that we can win the league without Wigan coming up with us. So it's basically, if Wigan drop out of the playoffs, Rotherham have won the league, and that could happen if we have a 6-goal swing. and they lose to Shrewsbury.
I just don't. I don't care as long as we're up. Pod this.
No. You asked for all the permutations.
I did indeed. Right, Dan. I'm going to see you down there. It's going to be a long journey. If I get you on again when you're pissed, then I get you on again when you're pissed. But just for now, thank you for coming on.
That's all right, mate. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, I've managed to get Connor Lawson on the phone. Connor, say hello.
Hello.
Right, Connor, we all know what's going on down in Plymouth. It's going to be a stressful one. You're in Leeds. Are you going to Plymouth, first of all?
Of course I am, mate. I've got. I'm leaving tomorrow, so it's Thursday now. Tomorrow morning, getting on the train at 8:15 across to Manchester, then down to Plymouth from Manchester. So it's going to be about 8 hours of travelling tomorrow. So pretty brutal, but got to be done.
It's got to be done. We're taking a fairly hefty crowd down there by our standards, anyway. But a lot of people seem to be mocking it and saying that it's not a very good. A good attendance, but given the fact that we've taken fairly decent crowds over the past few away games, and given the importance of this game, it's looking to be quite a special game if we do end up getting promoted, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole crowd thing, I understand. Any other club probably would sell this out, but you got to think about it. You know, it's a game that's for a lot of people, even if you're in Milton Keynes. It's about 4.5 hours there, 4.5 hours back. You're looking at a 9-hour round trip, 12:30 kickoff. You're going to have to leave very, very early. And, the club haven't done well with the coaches either. I think there's only a couple been put on, they haven't put on any more. So, and it's on TV now as well. So a lot of people who are maybe on the fence will just be like, I wouldn't tell you. But, regardless, I think it's going to be a really good day out. I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. All the sort of diehard, all the proper fans, and that will be there. And I think that's all that matters. I think, those ones are the ones that you really want, the people who are there home and away, week in, week out and stuff like that. So yeah, should be a good atmosphere. I'm hoping it will be. Obviously it depends a lot on the actual results on the day and that, but yeah, we'll see.
How are your nerves? Because I'm absolutely cacking myself, I'm brutally honest.
To be honest, mate, I'm not that nervous at the moment. Like I say, it's only Thursday, but I think I've not really been thinking about it, to be fair. I've been sort of busy all week, distracting myself. I think once I'm sort of getting on the train tomorrow morning and Saturday morning, it's going to be a mess. I think I'm going to be very nervous. But at the moment, I'm all right. But I don't think I've really taken a moment to think about the gravity of the occasion yet. So yeah, I think it could get worse. Saturday morning, I'll probably be a bit of a mess. But I have a few pints, it'll probably settle it a bit.
All right. So looking back at the season, on the opening day of the season, we played Bournemouth and we lost our manager, and there was a real bitterness in the fan base given the fact that Russ decided to leave and go to Swansea. A lot of people felt like we were about to encounter another rebuilding process, and could anybody really be asked for it? I don't know. We then found a man called Liam Manning that nobody had heard of, and a lot of people, I saw some people saying that it was a bit of a Dan Machici sort of appointment, but it's really, really worked out for us, hasn't it? Can we just spend a couple of minutes singing Liam Manning's praises?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I was saying this earlier to someone. It's been a mental season, regardless of how it ends up. It could end in tears in a way, but I think if you take away the potential disappointment that there could be this weekend, and maybe in a result and playoff campaign, who knows? It's been, like you say, it's been an absolutely tremendous season. From that point, that first sort of game, Bournemouth away, a 5-0, loss. The result wasn't important. No, I remember the mood around the club just being so toxic. Russ Martin left us with no coaching staff, stripped us of that. And we had to rebuild. Like you said, it was a rebuild, but it's been absolutely superb. I mean, this season, a lot of people have said it, but this season has easily been. I'm not even to that many games compared to other seasons, but this has been one of my favourite seasons supporting MK and following MK. It's given me some absolutely just memorable games, and even sort of observing from afar, the mood around the club is just fantastic. And I feel like, even if we are disappointed with the outcome of this season, I have faith that we could push on and up for, the next season. It's going to be another summer, I think, of a lot of rebuilding, a lot of ins and outs and stuff. But, I think Liam Manning and Liam Sweeten as well, let's not forget, I think they've instilled such sort of faith in the club, and there's so much trust now, I think, between how the club is being run on the football side of things, and it feels like we've got a really good foundation. So obviously it'd be great to go up, and I'll be gutted if we don't. But I don't think it's going to be one of those situations where, we don't go up and then that's it. We've blown our only chance. I really think that they're building something here. And all credit obviously goes, like I say, to Liam Manning. Absolutely, superb season from him. His first season in English football. And I hope he has many, many more of those, because I really think he's a man to take us forward.
The Don's Action Boys and the MKDSA and the club, in terms of the squad and everybody upstairs, as you said, Liam Sweeten, it just appears that everybody's pulling in the same direction. If you had said to me on the opening day of the season down in Bournemouth with all that negativity that we'd be in this situation, I think I'd have said you were off your rocker, to be brutally honest. But I wouldn't say that we've overachieved this season, because I think the players that we've had, the ones that have remained all season, the ones that were in on loan like Kyoso and Robson, and people who came in January, have really, it's worked. And the little things that have changed throughout the season, like having a really good injury record and having a mentality from a manager who's not got too down when he's lost and not got too positive when we've won. I think it's just ensured that everybody's pulled in the same direction, which has led us to where we are. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. You summed it up nicely there. There's been a lot of times over the years where, the club's been quite divided in terms of like the fans. And just the general mood's not been very nice. That comes with any club really when we've not doing too well. We've had a pretty dark time where we got relegated from League One, and that was brutal. I remember seeing that a lot. That was a pretty depressing time to support the club, and it is easier to have this sort of positivity. And pulling together, like you say, in the same direction when the team's doing well and when results are going well and everything seems to be going nicely. But at the end of the day, that's got to come from somewhere, and I think that has come from the club being managed well. Recruitment's been spot on. We haven't made that many bad signings. There's two or three maybe in there who have been a bit of a flop, or not really worked out. But the majority of it, the recruitment's been fantastic. There's not been any sort of really, really awful players on the whole. So yeah, it's come from the management of the club. It come from the fans. I think credit to the MKDSA. I've not really seen eye to eye with them before in the past, but the stuff that they do working with Don's Action is obviously fantastic, and it's good to see cohesive fan groups coming together. They represent different sort of elements of our fan base. I think the MKDSA, wouldn't mind me saying, they probably represent the older fan base, and the Don's Action are more the younger lads, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have opposite interests, and it's worked quite nicely this season.
There's just something for everybody, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I mean. The away support's been phenomenal this season. It's been absolutely quality, and that is, to the credit of both of those fan groups. So yeah, it's a great time to support the club. This whole season has been a great time to support the club, really. And yeah, I just hope it's got a happy ending, mate. But you never know. It's football, and it's the hope that kills you. Yeah,
and again, it's you've got two decent podcasts out there with the MK1 podcast, and you've got the Sit Down He's Still Your Club podcast. It just feels like we've finally grown up a little bit as a football club, and possibly going into a championship season. Hopefully we've learnt from our last, if we do manage to do it, hopefully we've learnt from our last experience there, and we can just keep pushing on as a club. But in order to get there, we need to win a game, and we need something else to go in our favour. I want to ask you how it's going to go. By the time that this podcast goes out, everybody knows, but just for the sake of it, tell me what's going to happen.
Well, I'm not going to say anything stupid that will end up landing me on some EFL images that precede unfortunate events page or any of that shit. So, yeah, no one knows really. That's the beauty of it. I'd like to think that we step up to the occasion and get a result. I think Plymouth are a good team. They're no mugs, so it's going to be difficult. They need to win as well. Obviously, they're going for playoffs, so they don't necessarily need a win if results go in their way, but they'd like to secure it, obviously. So they're going to be bang up for it. It's going to be a really good game in Plymouth. It's going to be great. Well, not great. I'm going to be sat there biting my fingernails most of the time, I imagine. But I'd like to think we get a result in Plymouth. If we don't, then we've got no one else to blame for not getting promotion but ourselves, I think. In terms of, Rotherham, Gillingham, you never know, do you? It's quite poetic in a sense. It's a bit similar to the old Preston Colchester situation that got us promoted in 2015. You know, a team going for promotion versus a team fighting for their lives, and we know how that ended. So, listen, I don't know. I'd like to hope Gillingham get a good result, but football, you never know. You never know. The optimist in me says, you know, it's going to go our way, but you know, there'll be Rotherham fans wanting the same thing. So I think it's important to think as well, even if we miss out on Saturday, that's not the end for promotion. We've got a playoff campaign ahead of us after that. Yeah, it's going to be hard and it's going to be brutal when our record in the playoffs isn't very good, but you know, we could still go up. We could still get promoted via the playoffs. So, you know, I think it'd be hard not to be downbeat about it if we don't go up, but there's still a chance. But yeah, obviously, I'm going to say we're going to get promoted on Saturday. Obviously, that's the bit that's going to be quoted out and put on the EFL receiving unfortunate events bit. Yeah,
again, just echoing what you said. If we do end up in the playoffs, I don't want to have any negative. We've bottled it sort of atmosphere. We've done well to be in this situation. I think we've done well to get playoffs considering the start of the season that we had. So I think we need to just continue pushing in the same direction. And just before I cut you off, Connor, I want to give you this opportunity to give your podcast a bit of a plug. Do you want to tell me what you do and where we can find you?
Oh, go for it, mate. Well, I don't know how many people are going to be into politics. If there's any politically minded listeners of your podcast, then yeah, I've got one called Pint of Politics. Find it on Spotify. It's called Pint of Politics. On Twitter a bit as well. It's not proper heavy politics. It's just me and a couple of mates chatting shit. So
it's a great laugh. I highly recommend it.
Nice one, mate. Yeah. So get involved if that's the kind of thing you're interested in.
All right, I'll see you down there, Connor. Cheers for coming on.
You will indeed, mate. You will indeed. See you soon.
25 to 6 in the morning. We've already been on the road for an hour. But the roads are being quiet after all the trouble that had been on the roads yesterday with the M5 being completely gridlocked and taking some people 8 hours. It was a bit of a worry this morning, but we haven't seen the coaches. I'm assuming we're well in front of them. Roads are dead quiet. We're heading towards Swindon and we've not passed many cars, so we've made some good mileage so far. Not seen any Don supporters yet. It's disappointing. It doesn't look like we're taking many supporters, but what am I to know? Keep you updated if anything happens, but made a good stretch so far. Let's keep it going. Welcome to Plymouth. It is only 10:15, just coming up to, and we left at 4:30 in the morning. It's taken us fucking ages, but it was a simple and easy enough drive. A bit of an arsehole to get parked, but we're parked. Seen a few Don's shirts, a few Don's faces about already. Plenty of Plymouth Argyle about already. They talk funny down here, don't they? Nerves are kicking in. Waiting on the team news. Waiting on the game to start. I need a beer. Someone get me a beer. Come on, Dons. Alright, stood outside Home Park with a load of MK Don supporters. Mark, say hello.
Hello.
Ollie, say hello.
Hey,
and the rest of these guys, what's your name? Tess. David. Jake, I know your name anyway. Right, are we going up? I want to. Yes. Right. I want you guys. I'm going to go around in a circle, and I want you guys to sum Liam Manning up in one word. And I'm going to start with Jake. Liam Manning in one word.
Genius.
God.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Right, and I want a score prediction, and I'm going to go around the other sides. Mark, score prediction, and are we going up? Yes or no?
2-0, and yeah, we are. 2-0, and yeah.
3-1 promotion.
2-1.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Right, sat in the Britannia outside in the beer garden. Plenty of Dons, plenty of Plymouth Argyle about, and I'm sat here with Don's action main boy, Ollie Charnock. Say hello.
Hello.
Ollie, how are your nerves?
Yeah, not good. Not good. We're going to do it, but I don't want to say we're going to do it, even though I just did. But we are going up, but we're not.
Nobody quite knows how they're feeling at the minute. Tell me, did you stay over all night, or overnight, or just come up this morning? What happened?
No, got here. Took 7 hours to get here last night, even though it's just around the corner. As you can hear.
Yeah, plenty of Dons fans making atmosphere behind us, which is great.
Obviously, there's a lot of permutations about how we can get promoted. We're not going to focus on that. We're just going to get behind the boys and see what we can do, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, if Rotherham are 3-0 up at half time, I'm going home. But if they're not, then we'll stay. But look, whatever happens, it's been a great season. It's been the best season I've had following this club.
Can you sum Liam Manning up in one word, please?
Hero.
And I want a score prediction and overall outcome if you can.
3-1 Dons, Gillingham 1, Rotherham 1.
That means MK Dons are in the championship. Thank you, Ollie. Outside Home Park with MK Dons royalty. Radar, say hello.
Hello.
Radar, how did you get down here? Were you here last night? Did you come down today? What happened?
I was driven down yesterday, and I'm on a podcast. I'm being interrupted on.
Say hello, Geordie.
Hey, Geordie, yeah, mate.
Drove down yesterday.
Yeah, drove down yesterday, and we might have had a drink.
Well, that's a shot coming out of your mouth, to be fair.
I know.
How many you had, do you reckon?
I'm not counting,
That's clever.
Yeah.
Big game today. What do you think the result's going to be? Do you reckon things are going to go in our favour?
2-1, Darling's going to score. I need us to win the league. I've got a lot of money on it.
You don't care about going up, you just want the money, don't you?
Yeah, but I've got 4.5k coming to me if we win the league.
Right, so 2-1, Darling's going to score. So we'll be in the championship by the end of the day, right?
Dead right.
Right, brilliant.
It needs to happen.
Needs to happen. We're in better hands this time, aren't we?
Oh, much better hands.
Can you sum Liam Manning up in one word?
Genius. Wet dream.
That's 2 words. We'll hyphenate it. Wet dream. That was Radar. Thank you very much. Still stood outside Home Park. Everybody's throwing a beach ball around. It's going absolutely crazy out here. The game hasn't even kicked off yet. It's only just gone lunchtime, and I'm stood out here with an MK Don supporter. Say hello.
Hello, mate.
What happened with you? Did you make your own way last night, or did you make your own way today?
Yeah, we did the train last night to go to a load of hipster wanker breweries, and here today.
How was it last night in hipster wankery breweries?
We're in bed by 10 o'clock.
That is a great sign then.
That's how we fucking do it.
Plymouth, how do you rate Plymouth as a place?
Absolute shithole. Bletchley on Sea.
Bletchley on Sea. Right, going to the football. We've obviously got a massive game today. Everybody knows the permutations, things that have got to happen. So there's no point going over it again. What do you personally think is going to happen?
8-0 win to us. Wigan lose 5-0. We win the fucking league.
So basically as easy as anything then, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Harry Darling hat-trick.
I want to ask you to sum Liam Manning up in one word, please.
Hampton.
Liam Manning. Hampton. Liam Manning in one word.
Calm. One word.
Matter of fact, I'll let you go for free.
I'm doing calm, composed, and genius.
Calm, composed, and genius. Thank you very much.
Shit's going down. Shit's going down. Shit's going down. Going down. Going down. We're 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 going down.
100%. Not the same way though.
Not in the same way. We were very bitter at the start of the season. Would you have imagined we'd be in a situation going into the final game?
Me bitter?
Yeah?
Nah, never. But, nah, I wouldn't, mate. If you told me we'd be third today, potentially automatics, nah, I would never have fucking believed you.
Do you think if we don't get promoted today, that we're in a situation, the season's not a failure if we don't go out today, is it?
We've got players.
We're
guaranteed players. Win or lose today, no matter fucking what, we're literally winning. Because we've got playoffs or automatics. So we not back ourselves in playoffs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Everybody's going to fear us. We're a great team.
We've got Scott Twine. What more do you
I'm going to push you for a prediction. What do you think is going to happen today?
I'm feeling a close one, right? I'm saying 2-1. 2-1.
Are we going up today?
Of course we're fucking going up. Come on, another fucking done.
Can you sum Liam Manning up in one word?
He's a genius.
Genius.
Honestly, if I was a girl, I wouldn't say no.
Ben Farrant with another classic. Half-time score. Plymouth Argyle 0, MK Dons 3. I'm here with MK Dons royalty. John Samuel, say hello.
Hi Alby. Hello there, everybody.
Right, so it's half-time. Gillingham have had a goal disallowed. We've done our job by the looks of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be left with egg on my face by full time, but by the looks of it at half time, we've done our job. How do you rate the first half?
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Scott Twine is a magician. I mean, the free kick, he hits the bar with the first one, Second one, what a brilliant strike, right into the top left-hand corner of the goal. And then he has another one, hits the wall that time, but Harry Darling pops up with another header and another goal, 3-0 at half-time. I mean, if we can keep scoring second half, now they're down to 10 men, Jordan Houghton's just got sent off. You never know. I mean, if Gillingham can get a goal, we could go up. We could go up with the goal difference. So
similar to what we did in 2015, we've done our job first half, haven't we?
That's all we can do. We can do that. We can do no more. We can just hope and pray that the football gods are on our side, and either Wigan or Rotherham slip up.
Given the fact that they missed two very clear-cut opportunities that just went past the post.
My God, they were so dangerous, and how the hell they missed them? I mean, we could have been 2-0 down, really, and
we still find ourselves 3-0 up.
Yeah, there would have been no way back.
Is this not just a reflection on how good a team you are? No matter what happens down at Rotherham's game, we're doing our job, and we've been great all season, haven't we?
Yeah, we have been. I mean, there's no way I imagined ever that this would be in this position. I mean, Plymouth came out. They looked a bit nervy. We started the brightest, but then they came into the game, and once we got that first goal, I think the confidence obviously rose, and it's just now, like you said, Alby, we've done our job. If we get 2 or 3 more in the second half, you never know. The goal difference could come into play. Just hope and pray that Gillingham can do something and get that draw. That would be amazing.
John, I'd like you to sum up our head coach, Liam Manning, in one word, please.
Again, I've called Scott Twine a magician. I just think Liam Manning is a wizard.
A wizard. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Scott Twine! Scott Twine!
I'm now here at half-time. I'm with Dan. Dan?
Hello, mate.
Half-time thoughts, mate.
Mate, this is what we need. Even if we don't do it today, to go into the playoffs with, half-time is 3-0. Who knows what it's going to be at full-time? This is what we need. A good performance. We're battering them.
We did what we have to do in the same way that we did in 2015.
Exactly.
We've got our goals in the first half. It's not quite 4, but it's 3. And how good were them goals, by the way? Scott Twine, talk to me about it.
I missed Scott Twine is an absolute joke, but I've missed the third one.
I didn't even know we were 3-0 until we came out here, so I didn't see either.
I missed the third goal. I've got no idea what happened there, but Scott Twine is just unreal. As soon as the second went in, my immediate thoughts were, no matter what's happening, he's not with us this season. Next season.
Look, it's a long second half. I don't think anybody. Well, I mean, of course we'll be looking at this game, but attention now turns to Rotherham.
Yeah,
I'm not going to ask you for your thoughts because it's completely counterproductive. There's no point. But we're still in it, aren't we? And by the way, the form that we've shown in this game against a team that are so good at home, anybody who's playing us in the playoffs has got to fear us.
And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to go. If we get automatics, perfect. If we go into the playoffs, a good result here will do us the world of good in front of Sky cameras as well. In front of Sky cameras, and that's an important thing because over the last few years we've been rubbish in front of Sky.
Right, Ollie looks like he wants to have a say.
All I was going to say was if it stays as it is, we're off to Adams Park again. How does Akinfenwa song go again?
No, we're not doing that.
And we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, boys. I'm here with Brando, or whichever name he goes by this week. It wasn't quite to be, but going into the playoffs, how good a performance was that to scare everybody?
No one's going to want to play us.
Nobody.
Full stop. No one is. I wouldn't want to play us right now, and I'm brilliant.
I don't think that we can go into the playoffs with a negative mindset, can we?
No, I don't need to.
There's no need to be let down. We did what we have to do. It just didn't go enough, and we knew that before the game, didn't we?
The only worry about playoffs is history, and not that we have history, obviously, but the simple fact, other than Louis, no one was here then. It's nothing to do with them. We're going in, we're playing fantastic football, we're going to score some goals. Christ, I mean, it's Wycombe.
And to be fair, Wycombe were the team that we wanted, and we might be left with egg on our face. People will look back on this, but as of right now, that's the team we wanted if we were in the playoffs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a lottery from here on in to pull out another footballing cliche. I'm just gutted because I can't go to the away leg, but we're just. I'm thoroughly I don't know what I am.
Don't know what to think.
I don't know what I am.
What do you have to say about the fans today? The amount of travel down today?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, really good. I think we had 1,300 here or something like that, which, bearing in mind there's no trains or anything, and it's quite a trek. That's pretty impressive. And I'm pleased they haven't got to come back down here again, at least. So.
Right, I've got 2 final questions. The first one, I want you to sum Liam Manning up in one word.
Robbo-esque.
Oh, brilliant. And secondly, are we going up, yes or no? Don't digress, yes or no?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you, Brando. See you there, thank you. Right, so Wickham away in the playoffs. I'm throwing it out there. Everybody's walking away now. Right, Wickham away it is in the playoffs. Dippy Dan, talk to me. What are you saying? It's disappointing. It wasn't meant to be, but it's not disappointing, is it?
No,
we did our bit.
You've got to think of the positives, right? We're going into the playoffs after a 5-0 win against a playoff chasing team.
And our main man has scored 4 goals.
Scott Twine is banging form. And who, at the start of the game, who was everybody saying, if we are in the playoffs, who do we want in them?
Yeah, we might be left with Egg or not, but whatever.
Possibly, but yeah.
I don't even care. To be fair, even if they beat us, they're still who we wanted.
We did our part today, and that's all we've really got.
How proud are you based on the performance? How proud are you?
Oh, very proud, very proud. All of them were brilliant today. All of them. Scott Twine's the obvious man of the match, I think, because he got his 4 goals. But I can't think of one player out there that.
It just looked like he enjoyed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
The annoying thing for me is that they came over at the end, and there were a couple of players, Warren Ahura, Jamie Cumming, a couple of players who looked a bit disappointed, but they have no reason to be. And I think by the time they wake up tomorrow, I think they'll just kick on and do it again, won't they?
They'll be disappointed for about an hour.
Yeah, they'll kick on again,
and then yeah, exactly. And then it'll be training again on on Monday, and we've beaten Wickham twice already this season.
Well, 3 times, including the Papa Johns.
That competition doesn't count.
All right.
It is what it is. We go into the playoffs. We know we can beat them, and then it's on to Wembley against one against
either Sheffield Wednesday or Sunderland.
Sheffield Wednesday or Sunderland, and no matter who goes into the final from that game, their fans are going to expect, which might play into our hands as well. So.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Oh, no, of course not. But
and let's just go to Wickham on Thursday.
Let's go to Wickham.
And the good thing is we've got the home leg second, hopefully. So hopefully it works in our favour.
Go to Wickham on Thursday, beat them, bring them back at the weekend, beat them again.
Right. Some Liam Manning up in one word.
God.
Thank you, Deppy. Well, what better way to end the season, eh? I mean, a promotion? Well, it wasn't to be. But, wow. What a team. And that's not just recency bias. That's not just based on what we've seen down in Plymouth today. I've just got back to Milton Keynes. It is now 8:30 at night and I've already sunk through my first pint at the city centre. And in that time where I was having that pint and talking to a friend, the reflection that I've had, as well as the journey back, talking to my old man, I'm happy to say, and it's only personal, I think this is the best MK Dons team we've ever had. And it's going to break my heart when eventually, of course, as football, does, this team will break up eventually. Players will go. And you know what? Promotion hasn't happened today, but we're in the playoffs. And if we get promoted through the playoffs, which we've never done before, what better way can you do it other than going up, at Wembley, and beating your rivals in the process. Not there yet though. It's a big job to be done. I don't want to be left with egg on my face, and I don't want people to laugh at me. So I'm not saying it's done, but that's now the objective. But what a performance! 5-0 win at arguably the toughest ground to go to in the league in terms of home record and what a difficult team it is, and the fact that they're going for playoffs. And we went there and we absolutely wiped the floor with them. The other week we played Sheffield Wednesday and people were shitting themselves about, don't want to play Sheffield Wednesday in the playoffs because we're scared about what they might do. Yeah, they taught us a lesson that day. They taught us a lesson for half an hour. And yeah, we didn't come out and we weren't great for that half an hour and they put us to bed. But despite suffering a couple of chances from Plymouth, they didn't go in. And what did we do? We knuckled down and we put them away. Scott Twine. My word, what a player. It's almost pointless rambling on about him because everything that's said about him already has been said and I can't say anymore. He's absolute mustard.
I'm here now contemplating the rest of the season, and we still have to stay the rest of the season because it's not over yet. We've got at least 2 more games to go, maybe 3. It's going to be a long week for the semi-finals, and then after that a couple of weeks before the final if we got there. It's getting into nervous territory, and despite the fact that I was shitting myself earlier, I was nowhere near shitting myself as much as I am now, and it's only going to get worse as the week goes on because the best team doesn't always win the playoffs, and I think we are the best team in this league other than the 2 that have got promoted, and fair play to them. But Plymouth away was amazing. Plymouth as a place, didn't get to see much of it, but it seemed alright. The locals were great. You heard earlier on in the clips the fans singing. It was so good natured in the Britannia pub in Plymouth, just around the corner from Home Park. It's absolutely wonderful a day out, and fair play to their fans. Stuck behind them all game, didn't boo them off, didn't have a whinge. I think they can acknowledge it's a good season too, as did we. We have been absolutely brilliant this season. It's easy to look back on certain games where had we got a win, had we even got a couple of draws against Oxford maybe the other day, and I don't know, other results here and there, perhaps, but it's pointless doing that now. Been and gone. Today we needed to win, and what did we do? We won by a landslide on Sky in front of everybody, and we showed them what we were about. And yeah, maybe if we had got those couple of points we might have been over the line, but we didn't for a reason. The table never lies. Rotherham have stumbled over the line, but they've done it, and fair play to them. Fair play to Wigan as well. We beat both of them away from home. We beat Sunderland. We've done the double over Wycombe, including a Papa John's Trophy win as well. Why can't we win the playoffs? Why can't we? But you know what? You guys are going to be there. I'm going to be there. And it's going to be an emotional end to what has arguably been the best season of this club's history in terms of enjoyment. Yeah, the 07-08 season was fabulous because of winning 2 trophies, and the football was great, but we hadn't really grown up as a club at that point. Been around a few years. We hadn't gone through too much. Yeah, the promotion to the Championship at that point was, of course, brilliant. Having a local dynasty in our midfield, and a fantastic loanee striker, and another one who left earlier that season. But I just don't think that anything compares to this. Every game I've gone to this season, every single game that I've gone to this season, even the games that we've lost, I've walked away feeling fulfilled, feeling like I can get behind something. And you know what? There's a couple more games to go, and we've got to keep doing it for the rest of the season. Let's follow Liam Manning's model. Don't get too down when you lose, and don't get too high when you win. But you know what? We won today. Let's just keep that momentum going. Thanks for listening. Come on, you Dons.